And with just 44 days to go until Inauguration Day, President-elect Joe Biden is pressing along with forming his team. Earlier, the Biden team announced several key appointees to his health team that will significantly shape the nation's response to the coronavirus pandemic. For the latest on the transition, now let's bring in Nicole Killion, who is in Wilmington, Delaware. So, Nicole, let's start with California's Attorney General Xavier Becerra to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. What more can you tell us about this choice?
Well, it was announced just a short time ago, although CBS News confirmed it last night. But look, it's an interesting pick for a number of reasons. Becerra had been mentioned for other possible posts, such as Attorney General, considering he is currently California's Attorney General, and he doesn't really necessarily have a public health background. However, you may recall that he served in Congress for a number of years and actually was quite instrumental in helping to shepherd the Affordable Care Act through Congress. And of course, he rose through the ranks as far as Democratic leadership. So for those reasons, certainly it is a notable pick. And also keep in mind that just last week, the Congressional Hispanic Caucus actually met with the transition to push for more diversity within the president-elect's cabinet. And so with Becerra being named, he's now the second Latino to be named to the president-elect's cabinet, which again is something that the caucus had been pushing for. And those close to Becerra tell us that they do feel it was important to put a Latino in particular in this position, specifically when we look at the issue of the coronavirus and addressing health disparities as it relates to the pandemic. So many think he could be instrumental in that as well.
So Biden also announced additional roles overnight, including a pick to lead the CDC and co-chairs of his inaugural committee. What else can you tell us?
Well, as far as the health team, a couple of other folks worth mentioning as far as his pick to lead the Centers for Disease Control. That is Dr. Rochelle Walensky. She is a professor at Harvard Medical School. She also is a lead of infectious diseases at Massachusetts General Hospital with an expertise in HIV and AIDS. So she is a critical pick. You've got Dr. Vivek Murthy, who is currently on the president-elect's COVID Advisory Board, who will be reprising his role as U.S. Surgeon General. Dr. Anthony Fauci will be staying on board. Another member of the president-elect's COVID Advisory Board, Dr. Marcella Nunes-Smith, will be taking on a greater role as well to address health disparities, advising the president-elect. And then you also have Jeff Zients, who is a senior advisor to the president-elect, who will basically be like a coronavirus czar. He will be overseeing the COVID-19 response for the White House and the administration. Look, as far as the inaugural committee is concerned, as you know, of course, we're just 44 days away from the inauguration. And so this morning, the president-elect is announcing new co-chairs to lead his presidential inaugural committee, which he just formed about a week ago. So leading that committee will be South Carolina Congressman Jim Clyburn, who's also the House Majority Whip and a very close ally of the president-elect, a very influential member to the Biden team. Also, you've got people like Cedric Richmond, who's already been named as a senior advisor for the president and also will serve as director of the Office of Public Engagement. He will also take on this role as co-chair along with Delaware Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester. And then in addition to those individuals, you've got Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti and Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, who will also serve as co-chairs. Keep in mind, many of them also served as co-chairs during the campaign as well.
I'm pretty impressed that you didn't have to look down at any notes to remember all those names and all those positions. Biden is also expected to meet with the head of Operation Warp Speed this week. What's the expectation for that meeting?
Well, Dr. Moncef Slaoui, who oversees Operation Warp Speed for the administration, told our Margaret Brennan on Face the Nation Sunday that he hopes to brief the Biden transition team this week on the administration's efforts. Of course, this comes after the president-elect said on Friday that he had not yet seen a detailed plan from the administration and really was unclear as far as how, these vaccines would be distributed from vial or syringe into somebody's arm. And so Dr. Slaoui said that he does hope to update the transition again on its efforts. So we don't have a specific date just yet when that meeting is taking place, but certainly expect it to happen this week.
All right, Nicole, you updated us about as completely as it can be done. Thank you so much.
You bet.